Hey, how's it going, everybody? This is Spasmodic, and as the title of the video says, I need a little bit of help with a trick that I'm working on in Halo 1. It's something that I've been wanting to finish for over a decade now, and I would like to finally see it come to fruition. The trick is finding a consistent method for capturing the two Banshees in the second area of Halo. Now, the Banshees I'm referring to spawn on top of this cliff after you clear any of the three areas in the second half of the level. So I'll start by reviewing every technique that doesn't work. So the first is overloading, which is essentially when you stack so many bodies and weapons that the game can no longer spawn the elites that pilot the Banshees when the time comes. Now this actually worked on the original Xbox, but it's not going to work on the Xbox One for a few reasons that I won't really get into. Just take my word for it, it's not going to work. Now, killing the elites before they pilot the Banshees appears to be a dud as well, sadly. The elites spawn outside of the Banshees in midair for some reason, which feels hopeful, but I was never able to kill either of them before they took off in the Banshees. The timing of the two grenades that would be needed to kill both elites would have to be frame perfect, and even then, I don't think that this is plausible. The elites also can't be sniped for the same reason. You also can't flip the Banshees over with perfectly timed grenades. This would make them inoperable in an ideal scenario, but what actually happens is that they explode. You also can't kill the elites when they get inside the Banshees. You can't just shoot the elites themselves, and if you shoot at the Banshees, you just you just damage the Banshee until it ultimately explodes. And I need the Banshees alive. If they're dead, eventually they're just going to disappear, and that's no good for me. Now, there was a trick discovered a while ago on the Maw where you could throw a plasma grenade through the front of a Banshee, stick the elite inside, and hop in, but that's not going to work here for, well, actually a couple of reasons. The main reason is because none of the Banshees on this level can be piloted. You also can't wait out the Banshees either. They're just going to keep flying around forever. I think they disappeared on me once, but obviously that's not entirely helpful. You can't really deload the AI by crossing the load zone that's in the tunnel. Hold on, let me just find it. I lost my bearings. There we go, yeah, in this tunnel over here. Now this would result in the Banshees just flying into a wall forever, essentially, at which point you could try and flip them over by driving into them with a Warthog, but you have to take my word for it again. This idea is unreliable in every possible respect. Skulls also don't work. I tried using catch, but the elites don't stop to throw grenades at you, they just hop straight into the Banshees. I tried using the tough luck skull, hoping they would pay attention to me and just miss their cue to enter the Banshees, but that didn't work either. I didn't really have a whole lot of hope going into that one because they get inside the Banshees in less than a blink of an eye. It's essentially instantaneous. There is one technique that does work, though, because it's been done in the past. It is possible to have the Banshees fly into a wall and have the pilots eject themselves. You can actually see this being done in the current legendary speedrun of Assault on the Control Room. So this very same thing happened to Rock Slider in this area, and Frog Blast managed it by standing in this area, which is where I am. Hello. Now, I personally tried leading the Banshees into this little tunnel with no luck. They just kind of steered towards the floor and killed me. I tried leading them over here, and that didn't work either. And I also tried leading them back into the tunnel, but that achieved nothing. So I really think that Frog Blast spot is at least the best place. Wow, English is hard. Best place to start looking. I've just by the brief amount of testing that I was able to do, I had some fairly promising results just by messing around in this area. The Banshees routinely fly into this cliffside if you stand in the right spot and move in the correct way. I'll try and do it blindly, but I was kind of standing in this area, and when the Banshees came in, sort of did something like that, and they flew into the wall. So it was promising, but I wasn't able to find anything concrete, sadly. So the trick would be to find an exact lineup that would force the Banshees into the cliffside or into a tree, anywhere really, that would cause them to flip over and eject the pilot, at which point I would have two Banshees to work with. So I have attempted this at intervals over the past few years, and just the other night I actually spent a couple hours on it, but I just can't crack this. So I am looking for your help. If you are interested in solving this problem with me, I would greatly appreciate your assistance because I just can't do this alone. And I hate this trick so much. Please, God, help me. So I thank you very much for watching, and I wish you the best of luck should you decide to go through with this. Please let me know if you find anything. I will truly love you forever. Thanks again, and happy tricking, everybody. Spaz out.